The government of Greece is floating plans to reform the country's pension system, part of a cost-cutting program endorsed by the European Commission last week. Lawmakers in Athens mean to show their commitment to austerity measures, despite protests like this one staged by tax officials and a strike called for Wednesday by a civil servants union. Threats to public sector wages are already causing unrest in other parts of Europe, fueling fears of social contagion.
Different countries in Europe are simply forewarning their governments and the European Union that what's happening in Greece is not okay for them.
Welcome to Dispatch. I'm Marla Dial. Although Greece, which has a towering budget deficit of more than 12% of GDP, has taken center stage in discussions about the European Union's debt crisis lately, it's far from alone. Italy, Spain, Portugal, and by some accounts Ireland are also on watch for possible debt defaults. Cost-cutting is inevitable, but the willingness of Greeks and other Europeans to tolerate the personal impacts of austerity programs remains an open question.
There is definitely a history of unions and social angst basically stalling reform in Greece. Well, what really piqued our interest here at Stratfor was that a Danish labor union was actually citing Greece as what they don't want to see happen. And they were telling the European Union that the European Union should not be forcing countries to cut public sector wages. And this was really interesting because we saw this linkage between the different protest movements.
Thus far, protests and threats of strikes have emerged in Denmark, Britain, Germany, and France. Meanwhile, pressure is growing for Germany to come up with a rescue plan for Greece ahead of an EU heads of state meeting on Thursday.
The information we have is that Chancellor Angela Merkel's party, CDU, is talking to their Bavarian sister party, CSU, and they will be talking over the next couple of days to really hash out a plan for how to bail out Greece, if you will. And really, Germany is the engine of Europe, and it's really the one country that will decide how and when to bail out Greece. And they're talking about it right now, which really puts to rest any sort of a discussion of whether or not Germany has the ability or wants to do it. They're talking about it, and it's almost the 11th hour, if you will, right now.